For this problem, I guess really either side is going to work here for you. And obviously in any of these problems either side will work for you, but let's try the left side and see what we can do. Because it may be faster doing the right side. Okay, but let's check. So if I was going to work with this side over here, I guess probably my starting point would be to try to get rid of, possibly try to get rid of the denominator over there. So what I would do is multiply top and bottom by 1 minus cosine. So what I would try to do is something like this. So I go, and see if that gets us where we want to go. Because this over here isn't necessarily particularly nice looking either. Okay, so let's try this. See what we can get out. So let's go by 1 minus cosine theta. Like that. So what I'm doing here is I'm basically just multiplying by the same value here, but the opposite sign in between. So the top is going to give me 1 minus cosine theta, that guy, squared. We can multiply all that out. But see, I've got a squared over here, so I'm thinking that I probably want to try to get a squared over here if I can. And then this is going to be 1 minus cosine squared. So what I'm doing here is I'm multiplying these two guys together, and you got to FOIL them out, and your middle terms will cancel out. Well, 1 minus cosine squared is sine squared. Okay. And so what is this? Well, this is really 1 over sine. See, now notice I need to get like, I should actually, let me write it like this. When I'm working these problems, what I'm looking at over here is, I'm saying, okay, I need a cosecant and a cotangent, and I know that cosecant is 1 over sine. Okay, so I'm thinking in my head, this guy's 1 over sine, and this guy is cosine over sine. So here and here. So when I'm looking at this right here, I'm saying, okay, I have a cosine, and I've now got sine in the bottom, which is good because I needed sine in the bottom. So is there any way I can split this guy up? So then what I would do is I would say, okay, well I've got, essentially this is what I've got. I've got on the top, I'm going to write it up here, I have 1 minus cosine times 1 minus cosine. And then on the bottom, I've got sine times sine. It's multiplication, so it's like this. If you've got 2 times 3 over 5 times 5, you can write that as 2 over 5 times 3 over 5. I can split it like that. So here's what I'm going to do here. I'm going to go like this. 1 minus cosine theta over sine theta times 1 minus cosine theta over sine theta. Now, the next trick here to do is to go like this. If I have 2 plus 3 over 5, that's the same as 2 over 5 plus 3 over 5. So as long as I only have one thing on the bottom in the denominator, I can split up my numerators like that. So I can rewrite this as the following. You know what? I'm going to, just for sake of space to write here, I'm going to rewrite this. I've got the same thing twice, so I'm going to write it like this. Because I've got two of them, right? So if this was like x and this was x, then I'd have x squared. Now I'm going to split these up. So it's going to be 1 over sine minus cosine over sine, like that. And this is cosecant, and this is cotangent. And if you look back up here, that's what we wanted to get. So we're done. That's the solution. Now, I'm not saying you should go start here on the left side, because you could easily play around with the right side and get it to look like the left. In fact, how do you do that? Well, essentially, you just go in the reverse process. Okay, but excuse me. But one of the tricks is when you've got a fraction is to multiply by, like I said, this kind of opposite value here, and that helps you simplify it. Okay.